we just docked. Welcome to Florida. It's 4 in the morning. This place, I don't even know, man. And it gets better. There's more this way. And it smells. So we're definitely not going to be at this dock for too long. Just enough to get some sleep. We need to get a full night's sleep. We've been on the road, or on the water, since 10 in the morning. Ben's coming out with the shore power, setting that up. It's hard to tell. Like I said, it's 4 in the morning. We're here. That's still doing that. Whatever that is, we still don't know. It looks like we're in the main area of the town here.
Part of it, yeah.
What's the name of the place again?
This is Amelia Island.
Amelia Island.
Yeah. It's right on the tip of Florida and Georgia, so we're actually in Florida now. Ha ha ha. Georgia only took one day. So we made it to Florida today. About 4 this morning after going all night through. Well, we left yesterday at like 1, so it wasn't that bad, but the tides are insane. The currents are terrible. You have to plan accordingly with that one. I did not, and it took me an extra 4 hours. I could have gone to St. Augustine instead, but I just pulled in here and I should have just gone to St. Augustine.
Major painful mistakes we're making here.
Yeah, major painful.
Learn from
major
them, hopefully.
painful. But yeah, heed my advice. If you're coming in, check the tides, check the currents, because this was bad.
Alright, we're headed to sushi now because we're starved. This here is a street directly across from the marina. Looks like we still got the southern vibes going.
Kinda. Southern coastal anyway. Southern coastal.
Or what they like to call around here low country.
No. Low country is in South Carolina.
Oh, not
Georgia
here.
doesn't have the low country. Georgia was coastal. Now Florida, on the other hand, Florida is an entirely different matter. We don't know what Florida's got because Florida don't know.
So we don't use the word low country anymore.
No, we are not in the low country. We left the low country behind 2 states ago.
Pirates. Drink Coca-Cola.
Come on. I know.
It's usually painful when we first get off the boat because Ben and I are starved. We don't eat breakfast like normal humans.
Well, no, it's because we're not normal humans, okay? We're slightly
And the dog
abnormal.
is like really excited to be on land, so he wants to stop literally at every spot.
Oh, I went in here.
It's painful.
Yes, it's difficult sometimes for us.
So he's trying to go slow, Goliath, and Ben and I are trying to go fast.
Sorry, that's Dasuki Island, man. I want.
You want property
I
on
want
Dasuki
property
Island?
on Dasuki Island.
Ben
yeah.
fell in love with Dasuki Island.
Dude, that place was like everything I grew up with. All just tiny little island hometown, and it had yet to be beaten up by the just
Tourist type people.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's a lot of streets.
Ran into
Hey,
a
friend.
whole bunch of little critters
What's
today.
he eating?
Nuts.
We got some nuts.
Squirrels like the nuts.
Bye.
Oh, later, loser.
We got a friend. What is that? What is that? What's that? It's like Goliath's
go?
first lizard sighting. Alright. I always forget to film when we're in the restaurant. We're at Akari Sushi. Ben and I like to get the boats so that the love boat looks like it's gonna be for us because we in love. I'm so excited for my sushi. I can't wait to get sushi. It's been a little while. Last time we had sushi 3 states ago, so I'm ready. It's one of my favorite things. Ben is quite a little expert in pirates, and I decided to ask him about this area in pirates because there's pirate statues everywhere.
Okay, now one of the things about the South, pretty much from North Carolina down, is everybody claims Blackbeard. Now, while it was pretty well established that Edward Teach was in fact a North Carolina based for a little bit, he did also do a lot of pirating out of the Caribbean, which is where he kind of made his name. That being said, Steve Bonnet was one of his associates. He kind of groomed Steve Bonnet. He was out of St. John and St. Thomas. That's where the St. Thomas Blackbeard thing comes in. Now, that's not quite entirely all true because, like I said, it was Stede Bonnet, not Blackbeard, that mostly patrolled the U.S. Virgin Islands, what is now the U.S. Virgin Islands. Blackbeard was more Bohemian and then over on our coasts because he felt that for what he was doing, it was more lucrative. And that was being, actually, from what I understand, a slave trader. Some people will say that...
Goliath's being a drug king underneath you.
Some people will say that nobody found Blackbeard's treasure and that Blackbeard's treasure is still out there. I disagree completely. Blackbeard's treasure was, in fact, human cargo. Sad to say it because everybody has this wonderful idea of pirates, but let's face it, they were bloodthirsty scallywags who had no qualm killing or capturing. So the idea that slave trade was a thing.
We've arrived.
Yeah.
You've arrived.
So anyway, Blackbeard's cargo was in fact slaves, but the fact that there were a bunch of smaller islands all around throughout the South that were very easily...
No crybabies.
All right, never mind. Doggy.
God, keep going.
Beat you. Stop it. I sacrifice you. Anyway, so all the smaller islands around throughout the area have been very easy for people to run in and out of over the centuries. It worked for bootlegging, it worked for everything before that, so it would also hold true that this area would be a very good spot to base a short jump, small kind of enterprise, or small scale rather, pirate effort out of, so you could easily grab a boat with a couple of your buddies on half a bottle of rum one night at the bar and go out and pillage for an evening and come home the next day with a hangover and a couple of free shirts, So there's a lot of that, I suppose, that would be tied into here. But for the most part, I will go with the Bahamas as being more of a pirate base because of the fact that it was a international trade.
There's another dog behind Ben, and that's why Goliath's being a big crybaby.
So we're just going to have to deal with that later.
This restaurant's in a neighborhood, and the neighbors have a dog. That's the other dog.
I know. Do you have to go and meet him? If I bring you over there, will you be cool?
Alright, so Ben's gonna bring
gotta
to go
do it.
talk to the other doggy, so that way he'll stop whining.
So the
and
dogs
other
can
dog
meet,
will
and
stop
they can
whining.
be friends, and then that'll be that, and I'll be able to eat my lunch in peace.
Alright, so we figured since we're going to be at this restaurant for a couple of minutes waiting for our food that we would discuss our plans moving on with the boat. So Ben is poking around in his phone right now, and we also received a package from the camera store at Ben's mom's house in North Carolina, but obviously right now we're in Florida, so we're past that point, so we'll have to have the package mailed, and we kind of have to figure out where we're going to be in order to receive that package.
Right. So this is one of the things that people ask a lot about too. Obviously, is the logistics of cruising. How do you get stuff to where you are? So obviously, you have to kind of plan ahead. Right now, what we're looking at is we're at the very top of a state, like we're at the very top of Florida. So we know we're going to cross over around Miami, which is at the very bottom end of the state. So if we figure that we're going to be in Miami in about a week, we can then start to look for our marina, like where we're going to stay for that little bit of time. Now, since we're crossing over from one country to another, we have to do all the PCR testing and all that good stuff. We have to have a certain amount of time frame in between. So for that, we want to have a marina that we actually like. Now, we're a safe harbor member people kind of thing, so thanks, Mary. So we're looking into safe harbor marinas. Now, that can be whatever choice you pick, but for us, safe harbor is the way to go. So if we get a safe harbor in North Palm Beach, that's not too bad. A hop out to Freeport and Grand Bahama.
Ben's looking down at his phone to get information.
Yeah,
that's why he's looking down.
So anyway, yeah. So if we go from there,
So basically, we have the package in North Carolina currently. Ben's
Yeah.
mom has it.
and
The
we need
best
to.
place for us to get it would probably be Miami, because that's where we have to do the PCR test in order to cross over to the Bahamas. And that's where we're going to be stuck for probably a couple days
Yeah.
before. We're going to do some heavy grocery shopping in Miami because the food is very expensive in the Bahamas. So we're going to stock up our freezer and make sure that we are...
I have half a dead cow.
Yeah.
Half, at least half. I need the ribs. I need the everything, all of it.
We heard that American beer and steak are like American booze. American booze.
Not just rum. They want like the tequila. They want the whiskey. They want the bourbons. They want the.
The camera's on me right now. Here, let me see if I can do that. Oops, on the camera. I don't know how to do this. Ben, stop being difficult.
But I'm difficult. That's what I do. If I'm not doing it, it ain't
So
difficult.
in the Bahamas, American booze and steak are like the items you want if you want to trade.
If you're bringing stuff to trade with the natives, don't go for batteries because they don't need them. This ain't the Philippines. So yeah, you got to go with stuff that they want, like steak and booze. Like
So we're gonna fill our freezer with steaks because we like to eat steaks, and so do they. So we will use our steaks to get the good things.
Yes. So we'll have them. But anyway, back to the idea that we're looking at as to which marina I want to stay at. All right, so once you've figured out what marina it is you're going to actually go to, with us, we have to do a lot of thinking about how deep it is because we draw, 6.5 feet anyway, so we need to have the water. So once you figure out your marina, you have to then kind of plan when you're going to get to it. One thing that in New England, I kind of took advantage of was the fact that we don't have huge currents like what they have through here because we don't have rivers like this. They've got some pretty serious currents and pretty serious tides down here. It's surprising to say it, but an 18-foot drop in Maine is nothing compared to a 8-foot drop in Georgia with a 5-knot current coming down the stream because you've got the tide and the current. You're going nowhere. So you have to play that into heavy effect as to when you're leaving or where you're arriving. So now we get to figure time frame, weather. All those good things have to play into effect as to what you're doing. And that's where we're at right now. The weather for us should be, I guess, okay for 2 days or 3 days, and then it's going to turn, and then it's going to be good again. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave
We're also going to plan some metal detecting. There's an area that Ben would like to metal detect in.
Yes, there is most certainly a spot that I would like to go hunting for some pirate treasure, perhaps. Maybe not actual pirate treasure, because being a Spanish galleon, they didn't get attacked, they just got wrecked on the coast of Florida. Everybody knows about it, everybody's heard about it, everybody's done it, right? Ha ha ha, cool. But you can't win if you don't play, so let you know how that turns out for you.
Oh, we're going to film that.
We are going to film that. We are going to film me walking down a beach, swinging a metal detector.
Depending on how successful it is, it may or may not be in fast forward motion.
Yeah, we'll do that as it fans out. But that's gonna be... Hey, you too, bud.
We finally got our sushi and it looks so good. It's a boat. What do you think, Ben? Look good?
I think I just got a splinter.
That's what you get for trying to do like immature walrus things.
I did just get a splinter. Look at these things.
Oh,
My
man.
God.
Hey, there you go, Rebecca. You're live.
I
Eating
got my
sushi.
sushi. Ben is finishing up the sushi boat. Yummy?
See, I always wonder if I can eat this or not. Should I eat the flour, folks? I don't know.
Yes, it's edible.
They say it.
Eat it.
I don't know. You might poison me.
It's not poisonous. They can't put poisonous things on top of a plate full of food.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's how you poison people, though. You put poisonous things on top of a plate full of food.
Orchids are edible. Are you gonna eat it? Is that a no?
Fine, I'll eat it.
Ah! Was it good?
Not really.
Maybe it needs some wasabi. Goliath, what'd you find?
What was
it's not
that?
Good that he's showing too much interest in it. 'Cause
Yeah.
Now when he sees one, he's gonna be
all
towards it.
curious and be like, oh, I got a gator mouth. And the gator's gonna be like, I got a gator mouth too. I like dogs. You like me? Oh, I love you.
Recorded.
I now have a ukulele to serenade Rebecca with.
Yep. So that happens.
It's gonna be like her last nerve.
Hello from the ICW. We just turned around to make some room for this tugboat. So that way it could get through. It's a little bumpy now. We're getting some weight from the tugboat. Captain Payne at the helm.
Now it's even nicer is the fact that that guy's gonna plow right through anything that I would hit the bottom on. So if he makes it, I know I'm gonna make it. As long as I can follow him somewhat closely.
We're in Florida and we're making our way to Jacksonville.
Yeah, St. Augustine or Jacksonville or somewhere like that.
Yeah, it's gonna take about 2 days. We're taking it slow down the ICW.
Right now, we'll be heading outside tomorrow. Probably make Jacksonville that way. We'll see. I'd like to stop by St. Augustine. So St. Augustine's like 20 miles from where we're gonna stop tonight. We'll figure it out.
Yep. Gonna break up the metal detector and find treasure.
Yeah, buddy.
We're gonna pay for our adventure in gold doubloons.
That'd be awesome. I'd be tough to sell one, but I think I could manage for, you know, the right find. I'd be able to drop it down. You know, find something minted in Lima, Peru. Yeah, that's for sale. Definitely for sale.
A beautiful sparkly day.
You know, it looks like there might be a shipwreck up there.
Really? Ben thinks there's a shipwreck up here. I'm trying to see where he's looking. Up near land, Ben? If we see a shipwreck, I will come back with the video camera.
There's a white mast by the looks of it. It might be a barge, but I'm thinking it could be a sailboat beached over there.
Alright, let's check it out. Ben thinks that mast that's leaning over is a shipwreck.
Okay, so that little green marker right there that we're passing right now is the area of Rebecca's 1,000th mile at sea.
Ooh, I made 1,000 miles.
1,000 miles.
That's very exciting for me.
It is. It's a pretty cool little milestone for you.
I don't think I get a tattoo for that one though.
No, you don't. But you do get to know that you've made 1,000 miles
That's pretty cool.
via boat. So
What do you have to get a sparrow?
5.
5,000 miles. So I
Yeah.
just gotta do that 4 more times, folks.
Yeah, well,
I don't really want a sparrow tattoo, but I think it's kind of cool.
we'll get there. We'll get there. You'll probably get your turtle before you get
What's the turtle?
the turtles for crossing the equator.
Oh, so if you can get a turtle if you cross the equator.
Yeah, you get a shellback turtle for crossing the equator. Sparrows are like 5,000 nautical miles. So, but you'll
For those people who didn't know, there's different tattoos in the nautical world that symbolize different things, and that's what we're discussing.
Yeah, so there's that. But
Yep.
yeah, so we'll.
What are some of the other tattoos? Can you think of them?
I think like cannons are for the military. Anchor. I want to say a single anchor is for the merchant marines, and a double anchor in the web in between your thumb and your index finger is for a bosun or a bosun's mate. I think I'm pretty sure that's what those ones are. What other ones do I know? A pig and a rooster tattooed on your feet are for good luck so you don't sink, or if you do sink, that you survive the shipwreck. Because apparently back in the day, pigs and roosters were all kept in wooden crates when they were being shipped on boats. So if the boat wrecked, the wooden crate floated, and the pig and the rooster all made it to land somewhere.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so those on your feet are things, and then hold fast, of course, is so that way if you're in the rigging, you'll be able to hold on. Or
That's
like,
on your knuckles.
that's across in the in your hands. What else? What other ones do I know? I don't know. I think that's all the ones that I know off the top of my head right now. If more come to me, I'll let you know.
Cool. So now I got some questions for Ben. I want to know how many sparrows Ben would have if he were to tattoo them on his body.
How many? I'd have like a whole flock of them, I would say.
How many nautical miles do you think you've done in your lifetime?
I don't know. Oops. I mean, after commercial fishing, just in New England.
Alright, so you started commercial fishing when?
When I was 17. And at that time, I mean, I was working on.
And how old are you now?
I'm 40. So anyway, yeah, at that time I was working on a boat that tied up from everywhere from Portland, Maine down to Cape May, New Jersey. And that alone is, Jesus Christ, the amount of times that we did back and around and everywhere else, that's like a half a dozen little birds right there. And then after that, I mean, I worked on a boat in Alaska, and that thing was all over the Bering Sea, and yeah, so there's probably a bird for that one too. And then I came back and worked. I took the boat out from Rhode Island down to Virginia and North Carolina, and just all over the East Coast there. So there's like another 2.
Ben was saying the other day that he thinks he probably spent more time in his life on the ocean than on actual land.
Yeah, I believe I have. As crazy as that sounds to some people, because back to being a fisherman.
And as a child, you spent your whole youth sailing.
Right. And I mean, as a fisherman, I was on the water all the time, and as a child, we were on the water all the time. We always had boats and everything. We spent a lot of time on the water, and I think it was partly because it was easier for my parents to know that we wouldn't get into all that much trouble if we were on a boat. Like, we couldn't cause ruckus amongst everyone else. We could only cause a little bit of ruckus amongst ourselves. And, that would lead me to believe that, we might
Ben
have...
grew up with 2 other brothers, and they also had 3 cousins that they spent all their time with.
Yeah,
so it was like a tribe of 6 little blonde boys running wild.
running amok around Rhode Island for a little bit there. So yeah, we were doing pretty good. It's something I've thought about a lot, is how many miles I actually have, and how overdue I would be, in fact, for several little sparrows. But, you know, we'll see. Maybe I'll get a couple of them.
If you're new to our channel, hit subscribe and don't forget to leave us a like. We love getting comments and questions from our viewers. Please leave us a comment below. It would make our day. Help us afford to keep the channel going by becoming a Patreon. Patreons throw us a couple dollars weekly for each episode we put out. We also take one-time contributions on Cash App and Venmo.